Welcome back. Welcome back, fam. Kaiser here, SLS. We have a lesson for you today. The rewritten past. We're going to talk about who were the real slaves in America. Are y'all ready for it? Put on your hat to think. Get your pen and paper out to do research. Now that you've been healed, that's the purpose of those chimes, is to give you a healing vibration. All right? All right, let's get started. We're going to go to the lecture first, and I'm going to come back with some images later. Okay, today we're going to reset a record that has been deliberately distorted. Millions were not shipped across the ocean. They were already here. The truth is no so-called black slavery. The truth is indigenous depossession or dispossession and white reclassification. Let's walk through what really happened and why it matters today. Now, I want you to use your imagination until we get the slides ready for you. Imagine a colonial map of America with the words, reclassifying the truth, who were the real slaves. Now, this is the claim versus the truth. Claim is that millions of Africans were shipped over the Atlantic as slaves. The truth is no mass physical evidence exists for this claim. So it's time to call out the slave narrative as European, Eurocentric fiction. It doesn't hold water under scrutiny. And those of you familiar with the scientific method, that's what we're doing here. We're taking you scientifically, we're showing you scientifically that could not have happened like they said it happened. The missing evidence. The first part of a scientific experiment is observation. The first thing needed in the case, in any case, is evidence. The essential part of any case is witnesses. All these have never been found. There's no mass graves from ship death, no wreckage with slave ships with cargo. Now they got information, they don't have to go down in the sea. They have technology now, they don't have to dive into the sea to find the ships. They can just send a sonar. They can use sonar to see what's down there. They can pick up any metal. Do you know how valuable that information would be? That's like finding gold. Just look how it will support their case. If one slave ship was found, just one, Either they don't want to find it, or most likely the case is, the truth is it doesn't exist. It's just a story. And when I growing up, when we say you telling a story, that was another way of saying you're lying. Not only that, there is no DNA trail linking East African or West African bloodlines. Some of you have taken these DNA, even though it really is nothing because they tell you on the kit. It's just for entertainment purposes because you want to. This became a thing in the late 90s, 2000. I'm going to get my DNA and find my African ancestry. You know, this came from the movie Roots. People would really get into it during that time. And they told you these things were just entertaining for you. To get a real DNA, you need the DNA from one of your ancestors who carried a macromial line from the woman. Just your DNA doesn't take them anywhere. And the next thing, as far as the witness testimony evidence, is there's no ports showing millions pass through. You know, ships have to go through ports and present manifests. You tell me all these millions of records were destroyed? That was a big industry business, they say. So there has to be paper trail. That's the first thing you need in linking anything together to prove it is a paper trail. You think that's just happened, that you don't have a paper trail? There was none. And you believe that? Something wrong with those who believe that narrative, I'm telling you, with no evidence. It's like teaching you about Santa Claus as a child, and you believe this man came to your neighborhood where it never snows, on the snow shed, got on your house, came through a roof. Now, if you didn't live in a house, if you was in the projects and apartments, you didn't get no Santa Claus. So this was just a lie. The whole thing is a fairy tale. Yeah, that's what it is, a fairy tale. Now let's look at the maritime reality. Maritime meaning shipping. The transatlantic shipping limits. Wooden ships of the 16th through the 18th century could not support mass human transport. Let me say that again. Because during the 16th through the 18th century, you had wooden ships. They could not support mass human transport. Food, diseases, and logistics made high volume transit impossible. Now, remember we talked about in our history the Mansa Musa when he brought 2,000 ships here to America. Yeah, one ship had a few men, people, and the other ship had the cargo. So to bring through 1,000 ships, and 2,000 ships, and 1,000 of them carried the cargo. He didn't bring that many people because that ship couldn't sustain that many. But he brought enough to set up a settlement, or what you might call a village. And why did he bring his own cargo? Because he wasn't planning on, he didn't have his mind to steal somebody's resources. As opposed to the Columbus story, you come to a land with just 3 ships. That is nothing. You have no resources. You're coming to live off of the land, live off the people resources. And they don't tell you about the war that was carried on when he came. He came with war. Those first 3 ships were just like scouting the area to see if there was any resistance. He came back with cannons. And there's a lot of mass murder took place when he came back. Because he said, oh, this is like taking candy from a baby. There was no, we wasn't ready for war and anybody. We are peaceful people. If you watch the movie Shaka Zulu, remember the war they had was just like like sports. Just get out there and turn their backsides to each other and insult each other. Until this man Shaka Zulu, he said, well, that's crazy. If he's the enemy, you need to kill him. Now, he didn't come up with that idea. The Europeans came up with that idea of actually killing somebody in war. Even when we did our invasion to Europe, if you converted over to the religion, what to kill you for what? That's work, that's labor. We didn't just go out slaughtering people. That's a Eurocentric idea. Okay, well, I'm losing my voice a little bit, so I'm going to cut it short. And we're going to continue this next time with the images to go with it. But I want to thank y'all for coming in. Appreciate that. I don't look at numbers. A lot of y'all come in here and y'all look at numbers. They say, oh, you just got it. These many followers. Okay, if you want numbers, go to where you got the numbers. I listen to people who have a message that I'm interested in. They may have half a minute I have, but they got a message. I'm gonna listen to them. So if the message don't interest you, how many I have shouldn't interest you. I'm saying this because I've had those type of reports. Y'all are so shallow. If that's the first thing you look at when you go to the website is how many subscribers are there, that's very shallow thinking. It's like saying, is it crowded? Ooh, the more crowds there is, then I want to go. Why? Why do they like crowds? Because you can hide in the crowd. You don't have to say nothing. Nobody's going to call you out. But if it's a few people, oh, now you got to show yourself. But you don't want to show yourself. You want to hide in the crowd. That's the idea behind wanting the crowds. Because you want to hide. So I'm not looking for those type of people. Y'all can keep going. I want people who want to interact, get to know, and grow together. Cause we're never gonna look for crowds. If it start getting crowded, I'm gonna start weeding people out because I know uh, there's just crowd chasers here, clout chasers. Oh, they did a job on y'all, especially if you went to college. You are really miseducated if you went to college. Okay, well, with that, we're going to say thank you for showing up. We appreciate your participation. Until next time, stay in the light, always shining bright, and don't let no negative talk put out your flame.